Hey everybody, we are live from Anya's house.
Yes. Sunday Night Wine with Ania and Christine.
Cheers.
Welcome.
Hopefully a few of you will be able to catch this after the fact. I know not everyone could make it live. Things are going on. This is a little bit last minute, but hopefully you guys can see some of this on our page, and it will be saved there. And each and every Sunday when we do this, you'll be able to view these videos a little bit later when you have time.
Yeah, so, and we are live on Instagram and also on Facebook, so you can find us on either page at Beauty Business Culture. Pretty easy to find, I'd say.
Hopefully you guys are liking the little tips we're putting out. We're trying to help you guys to grow your businesses and maximize your profit, maximize your time, and really start enjoying your job. So if you guys have any ideas of things that you want to cover, feel free to DM us. We will take suggestions if you guys have topics you want to talk about. But today we're basically going to be talking about utilizing your free time in January, the time when most hairdressers are super slow. Most of us, go into the salon, we do a lot of sitting around, a lot of gossiping, probably eating out too much.
Maybe complaining a little bit.
Yeah, it gets to everyone, I think. And, we see a lot of our clients in December, and once they're done in December, they're good for 4 to 6 weeks. So it's just the nature of the business. We all go through it, but this is when we really have to start to use the free time we have to prepare for the year ahead.
Yeah, people are recovering from the holidays as well, so they don't have as much spending money to be spending on things like their hair, so they might be waiting to recover a little bit in February. And even if you're not slow, it's just a fantastic time of year. It's the beginning. You want to set the tone for the rest of the year. I think everyone's in a really good headspace, especially if you're still keeping with your New Year's resolutions. You're building momentum, and that's what this is really about. This is about creating and keeping momentum. If you keep moving in the positive direction, then you're going to keep going in the positive direction, maybe with some hiccups throughout the year, right?
Yeah.
But this is to set you on a good course. So we've really been thinking a lot about what things we can do, because we're definitely a little bit slower, and how we can maximize our time. So I'm on the couch, so I'm gonna get comfy here. How we can maximize our time in January. So we got together and we thought about some things that maybe most stylists don't think to do, but should do in January to use that free time.
As opposed to sitting there and just talking about how you hate that you're slow, right? I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. So we have to take the time we have and actually use it to be productive. So the first thing we wanted to talk about was planning out your Instagram. Not everybody does this. Some people do theirs on the fly, but when you have time, it's really good to get into some of the apps like Later, Hootsuite, what's the other one? Planoly.
And Plan.
Yeah. Any of those ones are great. You can download them. They're 100% free, and they help you to plan out your posts, so you can have a little bit more of a continuous look to your feed, and you can kind of see what you're going to be posting through the next week, month, year, if you really want to get ahead. But really, it's about writing good captions. And when you have those programs and you have time, you can sit and write out a thoughtful caption. Usually when you're posting on the fly at work and you have 10 minutes, you're going to put something really simple, blonde balayage, whatever. But people
chocolate covered almond.
And sometimes I do this. Sometimes when I don't have time, I do this. But when you do have time, certainly sit down and try and write something that really comes from deep within, because people want to read something interesting. The good old blonde balayage post gets a little boring after a while, to be quite honest with you.
They can get that anywhere. So you might try and be a little bit thoughtful about what they can get from your page that they can't get anywhere else. And we will definitely be going into branding and Instagram branding and social media branding a little bit more in the future. So we'll go into depth there, but it's just about setting that time aside. If you have a full day off, why not say, okay, today all I have to do is write 5 posts for the next, whatever you're comfortable with. Some people will post every single day. They'll post 5 times a week. They'll post 3 times a week. It's kind of like working out, it's not one size fits all. So certainly this is something you can be doing in your free time. But now we're going to talk about our second thing, about the content for these posts.
Yeah.
Because you are slower and you have a little bit more time between clients, what are you going to do?
Well, you've got that time with the client to take more photos, and not
Yeah.
just take more photos, try more styles on that one particular person. Maybe do a braid, do, you know, a twist, do something interesting with the hair, and take photos from different positions. You could do ones from the front, ones from the back, the side, you know, have your client looking off to the side, all those different things. As long as your client is comfortable and they have the time, you should be utilizing that to build up photos for later on during the year. We're not saying post all of those photos at once. Those photos will be spread out using the Later or the Plan app. You can spread those out through the next couple of months in between other posts that you do. And honestly, if you post something, you know, 3 months from now that you posted today, no one's going to remember, especially if it's another photograph from the same session. Like it might be slightly different, but no one's looking at your feed to that extent that they're going to remember exactly what you posted. So never worry about that. You can use several of the pictures from each photo shoot that you do.
I mean, I did some great work in January, but I was rushing. So I did not have as much time to kind of take that 10 minutes to take some quick snaps of my clients. So now in January, I am definitely taking the time and getting a little, oh, look, it's Ashley. Hey, Ashley. Ashley,
We have a watcher.
We have a viewer.
You
yes.
are officially the first. You win the prize.
You win the prize. It's $1 million prize, Ashley. We didn't say that, but this will go down in history. We'll watch this in like 5 years and be so proud of ourselves. So we were talking about, yes, planning your, taking a little bit of that extra time, getting your clients front of a ring light. I mean, your next client's not coming in for another hour, maybe another half an hour. Hey, don't be sitting in that lunchroom. That's where dreams go to die. No.
Unless you're Ania and you're eating a big feast.
Yes, exactly.
Definitely feed yourself. That is an important part of your day as well.
But if all you're going to do is feed yourself gossip, then you may as well be taking that time.
Only food, not gossip.
Only food, not gossip.
But even going to invest in some accessories to use in your client's hair.
Yes.
There are lots of things that you could get to make your pictures more interesting. There's little clips. You can order them online. You could probably even go to the mall and find them at some of the stores. Hi Instagram. We're kind of looking at the Facebook here. Yeah. You're oh, there's someone's there. Great, awesome. We have more than one watcher, so we have 2 at this point.
Awesome.
We're going up. That's great.
So yes, getting more accessories.
Scrunchies. People are using scrunchies now. Like scrunchies are back in, right? The 90s are like where it's at.
I don't know if I'll be wearing them, but people are stocking these in their studios and they're just absolutely loving it.
Yeah.
Other thing we're going to talk about is cleaning up your Instagram. Right. I bet you never thought of this, but now with that Marie Kondo thing on Netflix, everyone is all about tidying up. So we were thinking about like tidying up your Instagram, and like by that we mean,
well, we go through our feed and we see what doesn't match our brand. So sometimes people start off on Instagram and their posts like gradually get better. You know, that's fine. That tells a little bit of a story. But if there's something there that got really terrible engagement, or posts that are like, I have an opening on Saturday at 1 p.m. and that was 6 months ago, it needs to go. There's absolutely no reason to keep those posts on your feed. They look messy, they don't look clean, and the continuity just gets lost in those posts. So take them down, remove them. They're not worth keeping. And then some of the photos that maybe you didn't edit as well, the lighting wasn't that great, it's not looking, you know, it's not matching the rest of your posts. Even consider going back into that photo and trying to re-edit it, because we've all improved. You know, when you are doing it for 6 months or a year, sometimes you can re-edit or re-brighten or retouch up a photo and all of a sudden it looks good. So.
And you can, as we said, you can always repost. The average person, when they look at a page, look at your own viewing, like when you view something, like you'll never like scroll like 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 times.
Unless you're really creeping someone.
Unless you're really creeping an ex-boyfriend. Yeah. Then you might. But honestly, like when I do that to my own page, like I will swipe 1, 2, 3. And then if I didn't see it in those 3, then I will just repost it. So don't get so stuck on creating all that content over and over again. You got a good picture, repost.
And I would say, if you don't believe us, go through some of the best Instagram accounts. If you scroll back far enough, you'll see some of their vivids and things like that are not from today. They're from 6 months ago, and they've just taken photos from at that time. Maybe they're slower. Like you get to thinking that these people are busy all the time as well, and maybe they are, but maybe they aren't. Maybe they're sitting around and they're spending time organizing their Instagram. So don't be afraid to use those old posts.
Secondly, this may hurt you a little bit because it might bring down your following a little bit, but we were talking about going through your followers and actually deleting all those bots and fake accounts. Those actually really hurt your engagement. We looked up a statistics between 5 to 11% of accounts on Instagram are fake. I'm not working on FB. I'm not sure it's working on Facebook.
I hope so.
I hope so.
It
says we're live, so we're good.
Yeah.
5 to 11% of people on Instagram are bots. So this really hurts your engagement. Like Facebook, Instagram will recognize that as, you know, like you have these fake accounts who don't engage with you. They don't comment. They don't like. They don't do anything for your Instagram account, but they're there as a number at the top of your page so that you look more popular. You have to go through that and you have to get rid of them.
Yeah.
Also, you shouldn't. Christine had mentioned this to me, that your following should always be larger than than who you are following. Mm-hmm. So you want to make sure that who you follow, that number is lower than the number of your followers.
Yeah. So be selective. If there's accounts that you followed at one time or another and you thought you'd be interested in their material and you're not, try and lower that following number down, because the algorithm actually favors you if you have an equal number of followers and equal number of people that you follow or less. So if you follow, 15,000 accounts and you only have 1,000 followers, that's not good for the algorithm. So try and just narrow it down to the ones you actually watch, because realistically, you're only seeing about 5% of the people you follow anyhow. So you'll notice there's certain pages that show up all the time, and that's because you've been liking their posts, commenting on their posts, things like that. So the ones that you don't really see are the ones that you generally don't engage with. So they can go. It's okay.
And you know what I'm actually thinking about now too, now that we're talking about this, what comes to mind is just kind of cleaning out what you're exposing yourself to. Right? Like if there's just a bunch of junk coming in, because like the algorithm doesn't show you everything, but if on your professional page all you want to be inspired by is hair, then and it's showing you, I don't know, mine always trying to show me the Kardashians for some reason.
I don't follow celebrities. I'm that weird person that doesn't follow a celebrity.
Yeah, but they're always showing me that. So I just think it's important to clear out the people that you're following that you just don't care about and that aren't influencing you in a positive.
And that aren't helping you to grow your business. I mean, realistically, you can follow celebrities if you're really inspired by their fashion, the way they wear their hair, things like that. But it's really just leading you down that scroll hole, right?
Exactly,
you end up looking at people's lives, and it just makes you feel like shit. So
yeah, like that girl from high school that you hated. you don't need to be diving into her world.
Yeah, or I keep 2 accounts. I have my business account and my personal account, and I believe you do as well, right?
Yes.
So keep your high school friends and the people that you generally are with outside of work to your personal account. Follow them on your personal account. Follow more inspiring accounts and things that you can learn from on your business account, and try and keep those 2 separate. It's pretty easy to do that, but it just cleans everything up, and it keeps it all tidy, and you see the things that you actually want to see. And if you want to see your friends, then you go over to your personal account and go through that feed.
Actually, today I was showing my mom Instagram because she's like old world Eastern European. And I was on my professional account, like, oh yeah, like here in my explore page, like you're just gonna see a bunch of hair stuff, but we could watch this all day long. And then I went to my personal page, and then we watched cute animal videos for 20 minutes.
That's what my mom does. She watches videos of things, and I'm like, what are you watching?
Yeah, that was what the algorithm showed me. It chose to show me just cute animal videos. So that's what we watched for 20 minutes. Yeah.
It's because you post all those pictures of your dog.
Yes, exactly.
It knows.
Yeah, it knows.
We have another person logged in. That's awesome. We've got now officially 3
Aprons
people
by
watching
Ashley.
us. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I've totally checked out.
Oh,
Aprons
and my
by
friend
Ashley.
Rita. Hi, Rita.
Aprons by Ashley. I love your aprons. I'm going to order one. I swear I'm going to order one.
I gotta check it out.
They're so cute. They're so cute.
Awesome.
So we talked about, cleaning out your Instagram followers, cleaning up your Instagram following, you're planning your social media, and what else we're going to clean out?
Well, I go through my station every January and just clean out the old stuff that's kind of, keeping the drawers from closing realistically.
Yeah.
You know when you get those brushes that just jam in there and you're like,
you
I
haven't
can't get
used
this
it
closed.
in a year.
The reality is, like, how many of your brushes do you really use?
3.
Yeah. And how many brushes do you have in your drawer?
Too many.
Yeah, me too. I probably have 15. I use 3. So, if you don't need that stuff in there, just take it out. get rid of all the old bobby pins and elastics and things that are no longer usable. Go through and just sanitize all your stuff. I take all my combs and brushes and just do a big wash with everything because, you know, if you're slow, you can set them all up to dry overnight and all that stuff. So that's the kind of thing that I like to do, as well as kind of auditing your tools, right? Do you need your scissors sharpened?
Yeah.
How's your blow dryer? Is it blow drying okay? Is it about to blow up? Like maybe you need to consider investing in a new curling iron, blow dryer, all that stuff. Look for wear and tear on your flat iron and your curling iron. You know, if things start to chip or they're squeaking or they're pulling, if people are cringing while you're pulling their hair or flat iron and curling, just get rid of it, get a new one. Cost and profit always has sales.
Exactly, and then you can maybe set a budget, a tool budget for that year. You know, maybe your blow dryer is still good, but for me personally, my blow dryer is great, but I know this year I want to invest in a Dyson. Yeah. Like I just really, really do, and I know that's going to happen in April, and I'm already putting away my tips.
At the ABA, right?
At the ABA, because there's a fantastic deal at the ABA.
I'm jealous. I can't use Dysons. They're narrow, and I hold my blow dryer by the nozzle. I don't know if you know that. I blow dry weird like this. So there's no like, there's a big handle on them, but there's like a tiny little
My dreams might be crushed because I had to get into the habit of holding by the nozzle.
It's better for your wrist. If you don't already hold your blow dryer by the nozzle, you're giving yourself carpal tunnel. Yeah. Holding by the handle is actually really bad for your wrist because you're flexing your wrist all day long. So try out holding it by the nozzle. It's weird. If you've always held it by the handle, maybe it's impossible to switch your brain. I don't know. But I started out that way, and I'm carpal tunnel free 13 years in.
Yeah, I was developing it, and I stopped, and now I dodged a bullet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So clean out, and also inventory. I think if you're a salon suite owner, clean out that old color that you like haven't used in a year and a half, and it's like the top it's like a quarter of a tube from 3 years ago.
I like to actually take my boxes of color, go through them. I generally mark down how much is left in the box, but I take the color tube out, I add it to a new tube if I can fit it in there, just to really squeeze things down. And then I'll put a little star on the box and say like, so I know that box has 2 tubes of color in it, and I'll start with that one. So it just gets rid of a lot of it gives me more space in my drawer, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
we're in suites, so space is, we're tiny living. We're in tiny. Don't get too scared if you don't have a suite. It's not that tiny.
No. I mean, it's for one person, 2.
It depends on who you are.
Yeah. So no, I love my space. I love my little bubble of sanity where people don't bother me and I can do what I want, and I just love it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
sometimes I hide. Are we starting to?
There we go. We were shifting. There we go.
All right.
Awesome. All right. What else was there on our list? Audit. Classes. Yeah. That's a fun one. So we're talking about, we always, and we can do this in this community too, guys. Yep. Once we I'm talking about what classes you might want to take this year. We actually already started looking into a few classes. Guess what?
Sold out. And we're talking February, March. Yeah. Get on it. If there's someone that you want to see and someone that you want to do a class with, you need to make a plan, see when they're coming to the area, and book those tickets ASAP. If you're going to be traveling, consider looking into Airbnbs way ahead of the game. The reason I say Airbnbs is because I was in LA in April, and hotels were going to be $450 US a night. We got an Airbnb for $128 Canadian per night, an entire apartment. I shouldn't say, it was not even comparable to a hotel. It was beautiful. So I would never honestly book a hotel for a class. I would look at Airbnb, but the good ones go fast, so you do have to be on the ball.
Yeah, and just aside, I mean, a good hairstylist will spend about $600 a year on education, and I think both of us are over $5,000 on education last year. And that's everything. That's not just your hair education, that's business education, that's social media education. Set a budget at the beginning of the year, and I'm telling you though, if you stick with us, that budget's going to grow by June. You're going to be no, I'm making way more money and I'm affording way more than I thought I could because I'm rolling
it won't be a problem. You know, when you want to take a class, you're not even going to think twice about it.
You're not even going to think about it, and you're going to start to see the value. I know.
Anna's here.
Anna's
Anna,
here.
you're the best. Thanks
Anna's
for joining us.
Sorry, you're gonna see us get excited every time a person joins. We're gonna have a celebration.
So excited.
We're so excited. So yes, classes, so important. They're just so important to our success. So totally vouch for them, but start thinking about that now. So, and then go in your calendar and, you know, mark them down, research them.
Remember what we did last year when we were going to go to 901? We held off. We were like, oh, we're going to go train with 901, but we don't know. Like, we were on the fence about it. And then by the time we wanted to book,
I couldn't go.
Yeah.
But Tatiana and Christine went.
But remember, the class was full.
The class was full.
And then we had to choose another date, and she couldn't go anymore.
I couldn't go the second date. You don't want to be Ania. I didn't get to go to LA.
Yeah.
But I made up for it with another class. But still. Yeah. So there's that. And then what else do we have on our list?
Researching networking events.
Yes.
So for instance, like L'Oreal usually throws every 6 months or so, they throw an event. Hairdressers invited to get the latest education, all their new techniques, cutting, styling, coloring, and sometimes business. Those kinds of things are filled with talent. Like you walk around the room and you just see so many successful hairdressers. That's your opportunity to get in there and shake their hand and meet them. Those kind of events are really, really important if you want to be an educator. If you're hoping to grow in, you know, in terms of like stepping up to a bigger salon or a more well-known salon, as soon as you get that reputation and you're building that rapport with people, they're going to know exactly who you are, and it will be no question whether they're going to book, whether they're going to hire you or not. I'm going to say book you, hire you or not, because they're confident in you.
We had another join. Kimberly! Oh my God, hi Kimberly.
Kim, you should be here for wine tonight.
You should be. Maybe one time you could be our guest. All of you could be our guests.
Yeah,
anytime.
Who wants to be a guest?
A third person. Look, there's a little space between Christine and I.
We could easily fit another girl in there. So everyone's really quiet. If you have something to say, we would love to hear what you.
Yeah, any questions? I know Courtney, for instance. Yeah. Courtney, I know if you're still with us or if you've left, but I know you were asking me about getting motivated at the beginning of the year. So I hope this stuff's a little bit helpful for you. Classes, research classes, plan for classes. And also, I mean, even Wedlock, I'm in the bridal industry, so Wedlocks, they're like a big wig in the bridal industry. They just had their show this past weekend. I was in Arizona because it's also, let me just throw this one in. January is a great time to take a vacation.
Yeah, like
it's
why the heck are we working?
Yeah,
what are we thinking? Actually, you haven't been. She's been on vacation.
I've been on vacation, but like, you know what? You got free time. Use it. Yeah. This is the time to go on vacation. January, February, like these are. I know they're a little bit pricey or expensive, but this is about like.
But you're not going to lose the money. Like if you weren't going to be busy at work anyhow, you might as well go on vacation and enjoy that time. Like we're on commission, we don't get paid for our days off. Yeah. Or days that we're not busy, so. It doesn't really matter. As long as it's a slow time, that's when you should be taking your vacay. I always say like in the middle of the summer as well, when people are like at their cottages and stuff, it slows down. Go away then. Go away in January when things are slower in the books. I mean, you just had December. You made all that money. Hopefully you didn't spend it all on Christmas gifts. But if you did, maybe it's staycation. Maybe, you know what, you got kids. Maybe it's like pull them out of school for the day and like go skiing. Or we have tickets to go to the aquarium. Like we have to go on I don't even know what day to go. Saturdays your kids, whatever. But I'll pull them out of school and we're going to go to the aquarium and check that out with them. So yeah, it feels good to know that you're, enjoying life, doing something you actually want to do. You had a second page. Oh, sorry. Oh no. We were going to talk about taking photos of ourselves, not of clients, but really like, making a collection of photos for Instagram over the next couple months. Absolutely. Great time. Instagram is a really fun place to just we just had someone join. Meraki Hair Studio, Toronto. No, it's our neighbor. Ooh, hello. Hi. How's it going? Hello, how's it going? Taking pictures of yourself. Yeah. It's a good time. I lost the train of thought. It's okay. What our business coach actually coached us to do was to set up a photographer if you can. If you can't afford a photographer, you can do this yourself with your iPhone or with your Android phone. Just taking a friend? Yeah, exactly. Get a friend, get together, have one person take some photos of you, dressed up, maybe 2 or 3 different outfits. We went to a cafe one day and they turned out beautiful. We also went to a park one day and took some photos. They turned out beautiful. It's not always easy to do outdoor in January, but they can be quite beautiful if you do want to weather the snow and the storms.
Yeah.
Snow pictures are cool. But indoor stuff, going down, we talked about going downtown Toronto, finding a cool cafe or restaurant, and just taking some photos. Even, taking your laptop to Starbucks. Like,
Even if you're sitting around the salon and you're not doing anything anyways, I mean, just, set up a cute little photo op in the studio.
We all have ring lights, so
a lot of us have ring lights, and if you don't, you probably should. Yeah. Or you should tell if you're a salon owner that you should have one, and just set some stuff up and take some pictures. Connect with a local photographer that's just building their book on Instagram, and exchange services.
Yeah,
if it's available to you, say, hey, listen, I'll do your balayage, or I'll do your haircut for a discount, or I'll do it for free if you do a photo session with me. Change a couple outfits.
It's called resourcefulness, right?
Yes.
And you can figure out how you can trade what you can do, which we can cut hair, we can color hair, we can do services for people, so we can barter, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about money mindset. I think that, I can't afford it is a really poor excuse, because it's not a lack of money. It's a lack of resourcefulness. I think you just have to, I just had the best thing happen to me today about resourcefulness, and I won't tell the story, but I said, I'm not going to give up. I'm just going to look for the answer. And you know what? I was like scrolling through my Facebook, and the answer just appeared right in front of me. So I think that's where you got to be. That's where your head's got to be at. It's just not can't let yourself get blocked.
No, because the answers are there. You just have to be open to them. So as soon as you start looking around and opening your eyes and taking your blinders off, there is always an answer, a solution to the problem you have.
Absolutely. Another thing, we mentioned auditing, your outfits, your clothing.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Cleaning out your closets.
Yeah.
It's not going to stay there. Whatever.
There we go. Clean out your closet, all those faded black pants and yoga pants or whatever you've been wearing, or maybe you need to say, this year I want to have this type of style, or this is the way I want to represent myself. Go through your closet and get rid of that stuff. I've been addicted to Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
I no longer drop anything off. I always at Goodwill or at Value Village. Now I'm just all about selling my stuff on
Why not?
I don't have to go
One
anywhere.
person's trash is someone else's treasure. Like, it might be clothes that you don't like anymore, but someone else is excited to get it. So, you can earn some money and then take it back to the mall and do some shopping. And honestly, for me, I'm going to be really honest here, I love Plato's Closet. Like, I'm a big vintage store, consignment store shopper. I find the best stuff, honestly. I don't know if it's because we live in Etobicoke, but some of the things I found there, I'm so excited to walk out the door like with $100 sweater for like $20 with tags on it. Like, I have the best luck with that kind of stuff. So even if you're on a budget, and for me, I could totally go to the mall, but I just like the hunt of like consignment store. Like, I just love it. So even if you're on a budget, you can totally go the consignment route. There's no excuse for not having good clothes. There's good clothes everywhere. But if you filled in your pants more than once with Sharpie, they're gone. If your shoe has a bleach mark on it, they're gone.
You filled your pants in with a Sharpie before.
Guilty.
Yes, guilty as charged.
And I can't wear white to work because every time I wear white, I get color on my shirt.
I have some, and also don't forget that you don't live at work. I had to remind myself that at the beginning of this month, I went shopping. Sales are amazing still, even though Boxing Day is over. I got some really sweet stuff that I cannot wear to work. Because I don't live there, and I have a life outside of there, and I'm scared it'll get ruined, but
I should take a lesson from this. I'm constantly, it's the weekend, and I'm wearing black.
I don't wear black to work anyway, so I used to always say, I don't want to wear black to work because I feel like I'm going to my funeral.
Yeah.
So I don't.
I've had 10 years of wearing black. Now I feel weird wearing colors. So.
Anything else that we can think of?
Sessions, taking pictures of your clients. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Yes.
I don't know how many people are really watching us right now. Looks like we have 2 people watching us. Who are you? Raise your hand if you're still here.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
Because at least we hash it out. I mean, there are so many other things you could probably do in January that would set to the right tone, but I think those are the things we've been keeping ourselves busy with.
Yeah.
I'm your girl. Lindsay's here.
Lindsay! Hey, this is my friend Lindsay. She's one of my high school friends.
Awesome.
She's amazing. She's not a hairdresser, but I'm sure she would like to listen to me talk. She's listened to me talk for many, many years. Right, Linz?
Yeah, I think that's it. I mean, just before we take off and we leave, if you're here or if you're here later, if you're here right now, I know that we probably sent a few messages out to you letting you know what we're up to here on the BBC. And we are hosting a community, and that's what this is all about.
That's what we need to talk about. We need to talk about who we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, we didn't really introduce ourselves.
I forgot him. Great.
It's okay. We'll do it next time because this is not the first video. So we are hosting a community where beauty professionals like yourself, like us, someone actually asked a question.
Oh, my sister's here.
Awesome.
That's my sister. Oh, she's trying to figure it out. That's okay.
That's fine. Are we on Instagram?
Sorry, guys. Yeah, we're still.
Oh yeah,
we're still good.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, we are basically starting a community for hairdressers because we found that there was really nowhere to bring people together, especially business owners and entrepreneurs. Now, we say
not to exclude people behind the chair working on commission. You are your own boss still.
Right. You are still considered a self-employed person.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And we don't want to exclude anyone else that's in the beauty industry. We do talk about hair a lot because we're hairdressers, but so much of what we talk about is applicable to any business that you're running in the beauty industry.
Estheticians, nail technicians, RMTs,
eyelashes, eyebrows, microblading. Does everybody like my new eyebrows?
I love them. I just can't wait to do mine. Yeah, we can't exclude those people because everything we talk about applies to anybody working in the beauty professional. And if you've ever talked to anybody who's like in the marketing world who doesn't live in our world, doesn't speak our language, it just like, it doesn't resonate and it doesn't make sense. There's things that are very specific to our community.
Yeah, this all started because we just found when we went to presentations about building your salon business, like she said, they were being given by people who were corporate marketing experts. Maybe they have a degree in marketing, that's great, but their verbiage was totally off. Like they didn't I had one girl in a session that couldn't say balayage. Like she didn't know. So she was like, she didn't know her terminology. She didn't know anything about the hair industry. And then I felt that so much of what she said was irrelevant. I just felt like she wasn't like in tune with what we need in the salon. So we're confident that we're, behind the chair. We are both business owners and that we're going to have fresh information to give you all the time just because we are still living that experience in the now.
Yeah.
So
still doing hair.
We're moving forward just like you are. But yeah, we're really hoping to bring a big community of people together. Possibly have even some live meetups, some masterminding sessions where we just have everyone together to really discuss certain topics, add their 2 cents, help each other out, because we've done that before and it's super exciting and super fun. So if you're interested in attending a live event, just give us a shout out so that we know what kind of numbers we'd be looking at to have an event.
Absolutely, and that's how this actually even happened. We had started a mastermind with some friends that were working in the beauty industry, and from this sparked this idea that there was a lack of community. I also want to, give a big shout out and hands up for Canada because a lot of the communities that we've been part of have been in the States. Yeah. And I know we think that we're the same, but we are actually quite different. There are far fewer people here in Canada than there are in the US. There are different rules and regulations, and Canadians just respond differently to advertising. We respond differently to branding, and we are looking for something different. And so there was a big
Frank
is here. So there's a big, I think just Canadians are just like, we're not excluding anybody from anywhere else around the world.
No, if Americans want to watch our stuff, that's great, but we're going to talk about Canadian content. We're going to talk about Canadian business law, Canadian tax law. We're not going to talk about state law and things like that because so much of what we learn has been on the state side, and it's time to start talking about Canada. Mm-hmm. It's time to start building our own tribe of people because there's a lot of successful and talented hairdressers. Like we're seeing more and more on Instagram that are going huge and they're Canadian. So I think it's time.
And also, you know what? I follow a lot of people on Instagram that are local that I feel like this creeper in the shadows who's just like, oh, this person. Like, I would love to see some of those people in this community because I think we put a wall between us and the people who we think are quote unquote successful. They're successful, but we don't realize that they struggle with the same things that sometimes even a person who's just stepped into the industry is struggling with. So, hi Frank, we're great. As you can see, look,
wonderful.
Now we're BFFs.
Yeah.
Things panned out. Frank also used to have a suite next to us.
Yes,
we were just the babies at Salons by JC. So we are building that community here, and I think it's really exciting for the first few people who are part of it to, you know, you're the first.
And we are very open to working with other hairdressers. We believe in community over competition. We believe in supporting other stylists. In our minds in Toronto, there's enough clients for everyone to go around as long as you're doing
6 million people.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not? There's no excuses to be made.
No.
There is clients for everyone. So if you're branding and marketing yourself right, you shouldn't have an issue building a clientele, and we're here to help you do it the faster and easier way.
Yep. We will be here again next Sunday with some more content for you, and we would love to see you here. For now, we are going to sign off. We encourage you to share this with any beauty professionals who want to make 2019 the year to start doing something a little bit different in their business, stop working in their business and start working on their business. That's right. Yeah, that's how it goes. And if you don't know what that means, you are going to find out right here with the two of us. I promise you that.
All right, so we will see you guys in another week. If you're just joining in now, feel free to watch the replay. It'll be up for your viewing pleasure.
Yes. Awesome.
We'll see you guys
next
next
time.
Good night, everybody. Bye, guys. Bye, Instagram.
Cool. 6 viewers.
Oh, it's not.
It's not a touch screen.